Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Off the Dome. I'm your humble interviewer, Jordan Brown, and with me for the very first time is the wondrous Whipjack. Say hi, wondrous Whipjack.
Hi, wondrous Whipjack.
Oh, Haley, thank you so much for joining me and bringing a guest on, no less.
Hermes is sort of a mandatory add-on to all of my appearances.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. Just ready for the spotlight.
He's a menace. He's a diva. He's a nightmare. He's the love of my life. He's my emotional support animal. So he is always where I am. Yeah,
that's fair. I will say, so I've interviewed some pretty big folks for this little series, Bria, Rashawn, Vic. Now Vic, I'm coming up on 2 times. I'm interviewing Vic again on Thursday because we're best friends now. It's cool.
I love that for you.
Anyway, people were so excited when I told them that you had agreed to an interview. Bria is the one who got the most questions. It was also post Burrow's End, so a lot of how dare you? Where do I send my therapy bill?
How could you do this to me? I'll never forgive you. Yeah.
Yes, but people when I was like, hey, what should I ask Haley? What do I need to know about Unprepared Casters? Because I've only listened to a very small amount, and people were like, I'll send you a wall of text. And I was like, you got it, bud. And they're like, here's each of the season, or each of the campaigns, broken down by specifics. Here's where you should start. Their advice was the most recent one because it was shortest, but also most emotionally devastating. And I was
my God,
I don't know
what
if
a way
I want to start there. Yeah.
The most recent one is just me and Amelia Sam hurting each other for 3 episodes.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to start somewhere else. I'm going to start someplace a little bit friendlier before I dive into emotional devastation. I'm not fully recovered from Burrow's End. I'm not ready
hold
to.
Off. We've got a really fluffy one coming up, so you can just wait. Yeah.
Wonderful. I consider this weird thing that I do sort of a sister series to Foes and Fables.
Yes, love Foes and Fables.
So, I love, and so I don't have to ask you a bunch of questions about how did you get started on TikTok? Because I know the answers to that because I've listened to your Foes and Fables interview. And if anyone hasn't, go listen to that. It's very good. Also, I will say this, because I'm just mad all the time. Rowan Zioli, the audacity on that woman to ask such good questions. There's a non-zero chance I talk to Brennan at some point in the future. And I don't have that. I can't ask him anything that good. Every question she asks, he's always like, oh, that's such a good question. He's speechless for a moment. I can't follow that.
Listen, Brennan's really easy to talk to.
Yeah.
You can't mess it up. That's the magic of Mr. Lee Mulligan.
Yeah. Is it Mr. Lee Mulligan? That was going to be my opening question was, if we want to give you a nickname, Brennan being helpful gets me off, is it Lee Mulligan or Brennan Lee being helpful gets me off Mulligan?
Yeah, where do we put the epithet, the nicknames? Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Lee Mulligan sounds so much better than Mr. Mulligan. I feel like he has to go for that one.
Yeah, I think so.
He's required. I decided for him. You can let him know.
Great. I'll let him know. Yeah. It was also very exciting, and because in the Foes and Fables interview is where you I don't know about first made the public announcement, but first got to talk about publicly that you had Brennan lined up for a charity stream. I guess let's start there. How was that?
Wow, it was a lot. From the moment that we started Unprepared Casters, everyone was like, so who's your dream get for the show? And the answer was the same every single time, and it was Mr. Lee Mulligan. Because of course it was the cliche answer. But it was the answer. So we literally just emailed him. Because Super Dylan, friend of the show, has worked with him in the past and was like, I bet he'd be down. And he was. He was. And then Gus, my best friend and professional nightmare, was like, well, I'm not DMing for
That's fair.
So then I did. And he was such a delight.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Such a delight, such a professional. The section of the stream that he was on began with somebody redeeming a pull from the deck of many things. They spent $1,000 for charity to send Pirate Princess Jess to the void.
What a pull.
It was 5 minutes into having Mr. Lee Mulligan on the stream, and one of the other players pulls the void card. And he instantly found a way in character to keep Jess in the game, like to keep her talking and to keep her involved. It was the smoothest, most professional move I've ever seen in my entire life. When I got to see him in person a few months later, I was like, I need to commend you on this move. I can't believe how smoothly you did that. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, because I've DM'd a game where someone pulled the void before, and the session ended. I
did not have that choice.
Yeah.
It was 5 minutes into a 2-hour section of a charity stream. Yeah, it was awesome. He was so cool. He built a tiny little fairy girl for us. God bless. Oh, I love that man.
Yeah. It's like 50-50 on whether or not he knows I exist.
I bet he does. Absolutely bet he does.
Yeah, because I'm at this point I'm like, I don't know. Because he's not on TikTok, so like someone has to send him my TikToks for him to see them. But if someone sent them one, then he knows who I am because his brain is the weirdest brain in the world.
So huge. I know at least in the past he's been sent TikToks or knows TikToks because he has talked to me about mine. He talked to me about knowing who me and Gus were from TikTok. So I almost guarantee that he knows.
Like, this is my favorite, like, he knows TikTok stories. Because, like, I assume you saw, like, the Don Marshall one where he was like, I know Don Marshall. This guy's the best guy on Lord of the Rings. And Don Marshall melted into a puddle. But, like, it was after, I think it was the Los Angeles NADPOD show that he, like, came and, like, did, like, a guest spot in for one of their live shows. And Kidiot is their handle. And they were outside wearing a mask in cosplay they had never done before. And Brennan recognized them and knew their TikTok handle.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
His brain is scary.
Yeah. Yeah. When I talked to Abria, she was like, because this is such a specific reference that if she had Siler powers from Heroes, Brennan's is the first brain that she would eat.
Right for that. Oh my God, I haven't thought about Heroes.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Zachary Quinto was so good in that show.
So good for one season.
Well, you know, the whole show was good.
I guess he was always good. He was always good. The show just really took a nosedive. Man, that was a bummer, huh?
Yeah.
That was one of those shows where, like, I told so many people to watch, so many after the first season, and then, like, the second season started up, and I was like, uh-oh, I may have just ruined a lot of ability I have to get people to watch things.
I've lost all my friendships now, I guess. Because that show was what, like 2005? 2008? Was that Writer's Strike?
It's Writer's Strike,
so
yes.
2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 2008. 2008.
Yeah.
I know when things happened. I was 9 years old. You'll have to forgive me. But
that's fine. I was fully an adult because I'm much, much older than you.
I'm just a little guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Brennan's brain is wild. Because that's are you a Worlds Beyond Number consumer?
No, but I should be because my editor edits for their show now and is really proud of it. So I really should start listening to it.
It's the thing that I love about it is you get like Brennan like unbound of time constraints of just like, you guys want to go to a sandwich shop for an hour and a half? You bet. And then he'll just be like, and here's the sandwiches on the menu. And it's like the most glorious description of food you have ever heard in your life. That genuinely, it's like I have a Discord where like people talk about the show and multiple people are like, hey, everyone. It was basically like a content warning, but like, don't listen to this episode if you're hungry. Because they spend so much time eating food that sounds so good. And the wildest thing, he'll drop into like those descriptions of like, here's the Citadel of Magic and the like forever. He has no notes. How?
No, his brain just
as a
doesn't.
DM, how does that work? Like, what are your notes like for UC? Like,
I don't write things down or prepare. I'm a bullet point.
So you lean into the name of your show.
Very much so. I'm a bullet point kind of guy. I have definitely run entire dungeons off of a single piece of paper with a sketch. And then as I say things that are going to come back up later, I'm like, well, now that's concrete. I've said it out loud. Then I write it down.
Yeah.
Like, well, I've said how many monsters there are, and they are going to yell at me if I then say a different number. Because I can bullshit. I can say whatever I want. It's keeping it consistent.
Yeah.
That's the hell of it. And when you're recording things, it becomes a lot more stressful.
Right. Because there are people that are going to watch and be like, wait a minute.
That's not what you said.
Yeah.
I can always pull things past my players. It's an audience that I will never be able to fool, you know?
Yeah.
It's a real shame.
Yeah. That's the joy of having just a home game is like, so stupid. So in the first campaign, which took 7 years to complete, look at me, 1 to 20, the dream.
Yeah.
My players had fought some vampires, and the vampires did the mist escape, as you do at the end of a vampire fight. And my players couldn't figure out where they went. And so it was much later that they discovered that I had one time casually mentioned that the vampires had a brewery that they had like taken over. And they're like, we missed it. And so we've started campaign 2. We're like 2 or 3 sessions in. And now no notes as well. Like I'm just like, I'm just like, yeah. They're trying to track down the origins of a cult, and they went to like a market, and this cult is pretty new. So like my players were like, are there any stands at this market that look like they've been built in the last 6 months? I'm like, what great fucking instincts you guys have. Yeah, in fact there are. And I was like, it's a distillery. And they're like, is this punishment because we didn't find the vampire brewery? And I was like, that never crossed my mind. I didn't know that. Yeah, like I didn't know the stand existed until you said it. But instead I went, yes, it is.
Players will always have the best ideas, and it is your job as a DM to steal them. And just pretend they got it right.
Be like, roll a perception check. 18, you do see a stand that looks like it's been built in the last 6 months. And
you did connect those dots that I didn't even put there. That's right.
Yeah. I was over here like, I wonder how they're going to figure this out, because I don't have any idea.
It's my favorite shit to do. My favorite in the whole world.
It's so delightful. It's also like, you know, when you get great players and you can just like let them run wild. Feels good. Yeah. But yeah, like back to Brennan's brain. Anyway, he can do like it's the yes or no rant, but in descriptive, and he can just do it at the drop of a hat. He can just
so powerful.
He flips a switch and is like, I'm not going to have to stutter once in this thing. I'm going to give you the most glorious description of a thing that's ever existed. It didn't exist until the words came out of my mouth. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
He's been DMing for what? 20 years?
20,
crazy
25,
amount of years. I don't even know how old he is, actually. That would probably help.
Yeah, he's in his 30s for sure.
And he's been DMing since he was like 7.
Yeah, so...
Like 20 years, 25?
20, 25 years, yeah. Wild.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't think it will. I think most people who've been DMing 20, 25 years still can't do that.
I will. Right now. It's when I hit 45 or whatever, my brain's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Famously, our brains get much better as we get older.
I'm committing. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I decided, Jordan.
I love this for you. Yeah. One of the things that I love about this little like thing that I do is because when I upload the clips to TikTok, I cut out my questions and then like make just like an intro on TikTok where I'm like, this is the thing that I asked.
Yeah.
That's like 20 seconds long. And I'm like, oh boy, look how smart and collected I sound when it's just 20 seconds and I've rehearsed it several times. Like much better than when I'm just like, so unprepared casters, what's that all about?
He's doing a great job. Do not diminish yourself. No negative self-talk.
Thank you.
You're doing incredible, and I love you.
I love you. A new instant friendship. That's the joy of every single one of these, is like just become friends with every person I interview, which is
so easy to make friends on the internet when you talk once. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like I said, like Vic and I had made like plans to talk every day on our way home from work, which I work from home and they don't have a real job. So like obviously never happened. But like I made a video after, I don't know if you're watching Very Important People.
I'm watching all the bits they put on TikTok.
Okay. So the Nana episode, the Lisa Gilroy episode that just aired on Friday, the most unhinged thing I think I've ever seen in my life. It's wild. And when I talked to Vic a couple of weeks ago, they were like, hey, this is the episode. See if you can get this episode before we talk. And I couldn't because Dropout was on like full winter break. We're not in the offices. Basically, they were like, hey, Jordan, please stop emailing us. We're not doing work right now.
Nobody's going to talk to you.
Yeah, and I had to write back and be like, please stop answering my emails then, and I'll stop emailing you. So I talked to Vic, and then they were like, this is the one we're going to want to talk about. I have thoughts and feelings. And so, when after the episode aired, I made a video. I was like, we got to talk right away. And they were like, I didn't think the like on our chats on the way home through because I don't drive home from work. And I was like, yeah, I work from home. Like my drive home is walking to the living room to see what my wife and kid are up to.
It's so strenuous.
Yes,
it's a real commute.
Yeah. Sometimes they're playing on the couch and he doesn't want me there. It's a real bummer. 2-year-olds are very fickle.
I am a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yes. So this is why I knew if I told you I had a 2-year-old that you would be like, I forgive you for not having listened to all of Unprepared Casters. Like,
here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing about making any sort of content on the internet is your ability to consume content goes away.
Yeah.
It leaves.
Oh my God. I fucked up so bad with this interview series. Like, I committed to, because like the only platform where people will follow me is TikTok. That's it. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'll put the whole thing unedited on Patreon, but I refuse to paywall like a good Brennan Lee Mulligan, acolyte. And then I was like, okay, so we'll just cut every interview into clips and we'll put those on TikTok. And then I sat down with an hour-long interview and was like, there are like 25 individual questions that I need to clip out and put on TikTok. I post maybe 2 to 3 a day, like 5 days a week. And I was like, oh no, I've done 8 interviews already. The math is not mathing on this. I'm going to be posting stuff about Burrow's End till like January 2026. I've got such a backlog of content.
I feel that because we do TikTok clips for Unprepared Casters too. Mm-hmm. And so basically every time we do an episode, I just have to sit and be like, what were the 2 things that I can make into engagement bait on TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I want to show off my cool friends. So the best way to show off your cool friends is to game the system.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah. You have to be discerning, and it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah. Oh, I've definitely at a certain point asked the patrons to be like, hey, going forward, why don't you guys put what you liked from the interview, because I can't keep doing this.
Yeah. I do sometimes. I'll wait until episodes come out, and then there's a group on the UC Discord that does a live listen pretty consistently when episodes drop, and I'll just skim through there and see where everybody started typing in capital letters, and I'm like, great, that part.
Yes, yeah. Perfect.
We'll make something
in Riverside, Control F, got it, and clipped.
Yeah, no, my poor editors just get rambling lists from me. Things. I'm like, I want this, and I wanted to have this part, and I wanted to end at this line. Here you go. And then they hand me a minute-long TikTok clip. I go, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a handful of people reach out and be like, you need editing help. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And they're like, I'll do it for free. And I'm like, I refuse.
You
won't. Yeah, like, know your worth. And they're like, but I have the time. I'm like, I do not accept.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I will pay you, or I will continue to do this on my own in the nightmare world I have built for myself.
No, I'm so blessed to have had an editor for Unprepared Casters. Like from arc 2 is when we got our editor, who we still have, Jared. God, I edit my YouTube stuff. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to be able to pay editors to do the other stuff, because it's unfathomable the amount of work that it takes.
It's so much. And mine isn't even like mine's literally just like I cut out my question and just cut all of their put all of their answer as one. Like I let them ramble as long as they want. Like if it's 4 minutes, whatever, right? Like it's fine. And it's still so much.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you saw, like, Run DMG is doing his like charity thing this month, and for Doctors Without Borders, and I just like a real dummy was like, I'll give away interviews as rewards, thinking no one is gonna do them. Anyway, today I believe I have 5 interviews booked, where.
Jordan!
And it's not even close to it's not even half of what I have to get through. Like,
Jordan.
So many people were like, hey, not only will I do one, multiple people have been like, I'll do one and I'll buy a bonus one for someone else you pick. And I'm like, please stop. Except, of course, like Mr. Lee Mulligan, I would do anything to win anything. Yeah. So if anyone comes close to me in this contest of charity, I will drop my rates so that I can continue to win. Yeah. I will destroy my life to win a, who cares charity contest.
Jordan, you have a day job.
I do, yeah. Yeah. And a 2-year-old who I like better than anybody I've ever met.
You don't want to spend any time with them. No.
Yeah. No. Thankfully, he's napping right now, so I'd have no guilt right now. We're good to go.
I'm not taking you away.
Yeah. So, out of curiosity, in an actual question, what was your pipeline to dropout content? How did you join the little fandom?
Okay, so when I was in elementary school, I fell in love with a man named Jake Hurwitz.
Fair, yeah.
Deeply in love, and I watched everything that College Humor put out, and this was 2009 College Humor. I don't know how well you remember what their content was like in the day.
It's very different. Yeah,
it's very different. But I was a religious Jake and Amir fan. I watched all the Hardly Workings, and I kept it up as all the cast changes and the office changes, and I grew up. Thankfully, their content also changed, right?
Yeah. It probably wouldn't be as much fun if Murph was still beating people up in the office. Actually, that would probably still be as fun.
Shirtless screaming actually is always funny, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you are what Zach Oyama, the YouTube comment of, I literally grew up with these, or these guys literally raised me.
Weirdly, yes, they did. Should I have been watching that content at that age? No.
Yeah.
No, I should not. But I did, and I loved it. I made a TikTok once where I talked about how if I ever meet Sam Reich in person, I'm just going to fully go blank, and they go, "Oh my God, you were in Jake and Amir," and that's all I'm going to be able to say. Unfortunately, he commented on that TikTok and he was like, just happy you recognized. I was like, don't be happy about that. Make me recognize your current achievements and not that you were in 2010 playing Amir Blumenfeld's weird friend.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, I think he would enjoy it. As long as you don't ask him where he's from, I think he'd be fine.
Okay, you're on the internet. You make stuff on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I make stuff on the internet. The people who still make jokes about where he's from, I want to reach through the screen and just grab them and go, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah. So they posted the social media manager job.
Yeah.
And I made a video where I was like, hey, gang, if somehow out of the thousands of people applying, you make it through presumably the first round of interviews with Andrew Bridgman.
Mm-hmm.
And the second round of interviews, because I don't know who else it could possibly be, is with Sam.
Yeah.
And he gets to the point in every interview that happens is, do you have any questions for me? Don't ask him where he's from.
Don't.
And so many people were like, sounds like you know from experience. I'm like, I sure don't. I would never do it. And then quite a few people were like, no, I'm still doing it. I'm like, okay.
Why? Why?
What do you think's the best case scenario? A mild chuckle?
And then you don't get the job because you're obnoxious.
Because you're obnoxious and you're not funny and applying to a comedy company.
It was a very funny bit for 3 months.
Yeah.
But it's been around for what, years?
Yeah. It's look, if there's something in a Discord channel, the Ask Sam channel, that gets auto-deleted, don't ask. Good rule of thumb. Yeah.
It drives me bonkers. It drives me absolutely bonkers. Can't handle it. Be normal.
Yeah. I do have a dream, because Sam will never see this part of the interview because I'll cut it out. I have a dream of interviewing Sam. I'm going to interview Sam.
You will.
Probably in the next couple of months. Oh, I've literally already reached out to him about
amazing.
it. He's just real busy right now. But I have the dream where I get him to say all the words Cambridge, Massachusetts in different formations. So I haven't quite figured out how to get the chew sound from him yet, but mass I feel like is going to be a pretty easy one.
Chew, boy.
And then cut that all together so that he says Cambridge, Massachusetts in a weird choppy thing in my interview.
Hey, Sam Reich, real quick, what sound does a train make?
Yeah. One last question for you, Sam, and I'm sure you're not going to figure out where I'm going with this.
You just drop it in right in the middle, and then you move back on to whatever you were talking about before.
Yeah.
You fool the man.
Yes. Because occasionally someone, usually a Mike Trapp or someone, will hit him with a new variation of it, and it's very funny. But you got to be
they're his friends
in on the bit
and they're
already.
Professional comedians.
Yes.
You have to be both things to make that work.
Yes. It's I talked to Andrew Rosas from Rooster Teeth pretty recently, and he was saying, he wrote for Make Some Noise, and he was saying that the Lou Wilson prompt, a 1-star review of The Sun. And then Lou does his thing. And he said he saw all the comments were all people saying a 1-star review of 1 star. And he's like, do you think professional comedian Lou Wilson didn't know the joke? That was the easiest joke, and Lou took it a different way. You didn't outsmart the system by thinking of this joke. That's of 80 people.
Was.
Yes.
Yeah.
But saying that in the moment then goes nowhere. Then the bit is over. But Lou leans into an unhinged thing, super funny. But yeah, the internet sometimes.
What a place.
Speaking of the internet sometimes, you follow me on the internet, which was very exciting when it happened, because you made a video about Taskmaster and Dropout, and I commented, I've seen it, you don't have to tag me.
Yes.
Because that is a thing that has fully filled my life. Of if someone makes a video, if Mish makes a video about Taskmaster, which she also does, she literally will just tag me first in the comments. She'll hit post and then be at Jordan Brown. And I'm like, great. Now, maybe only 10 people will tag me in this video. It's weird.
I know. I saw how many people were tagging you in that one. I was like, sorry. Sorry, my bad.
Because I was already there. I had commented. And people still are like, no, Jordan needs to see this.
Did you see it?
Yeah. The wildest ones are like, I'll click on your username and they aren't following me. And I'm like, how? Like, yeah.
Why am I being summoned here?
Yes.
No, I know every single time anyone makes a comedy TikTok about the TV show Once Upon a Time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will get tagged in it.
Yeah.
20 to 30 times.
Yeah. So my Patreon, I'm like, hey, you can submit questions if you like have an idea. I also have a tier where it's $200 and I will ask the question and tell you the person your name. No one has taken me up on that.
I love crazy silly tiers though. Like no one's gonna pay that money.
Yeah. I do have a $1,000 pay pig tier. When it is called exactly, it's you get everything at this plus also the degradation of paying me this much money. Also not gotten any of those, but someone did ask in the comments for your video a Once Upon a Time one shot when. So
I already ran an arc called Once Upon a Crime, and I feel like it would be weird now for me to run something Once Upon a Time based. And also Never After came out not that long ago.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to accuse me of stealing from Mr. Lee Mulligan.
He owns the intellectual property on all of those characters.
Yes, he actually owns all fairy tales, is the crazy thing about him. Once Upon a Time truly fills my life.
So the thing is, I didn't know it existed fully.
Good.
Opened it in a new tab to be like, is it a show? And it was 7 seasons. And I was like, how have I never heard of this?
Because the first season was really good and came out in 2011 and was on ABC. And it was like a fairy tale drama. And then it got pretty bad pretty fast.
Okay.
And really was only talked about in niche little internet communities where everyone's mad that the ones they wanted to be lesbians weren't lesbians.
Standard internet complaint, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of queerbaity, so I get
also
it.
Standard ABC move.
It's a show that everybody assumes is a CW show, if that tells you anything about what it is as a show.
It fills in a lot of blanks.
Everyone is really surprised when they learn it's not a CW show. I have 3 feet to my left a giant whiteboard with all of the characters on it and all of their names and aliases.
Yeah, no, I've seen your weird whiteboard videos.
Yeah.
Okay. I usually scroll right past them because I'm like, I don't know what Haley's talking about.
Bizarre whiteboard content that you're creating over there. Yeah.
If I see the words Astarion or anything else, I'm just like, I don't know. I know everyone else is gonna love this, man. I don't know.
My TikTok's been really fun for you lately. It's all Baldur's Gate over there.
Yeah, look at most of the people I follow. It's all Baldur's Gate all the time.
It's really good, Jordan.
I believe you. I can't play it. I have a work laptop, end of list. I had a really, I thought a brilliant idea, and then I didn't do it, which was to stream Baldur's Gate 1, the only thing my computer would support me being able to play, and then just, be like, streaming Baldur's Gate, and then have people show up and watch me run, a game that, if you squint, it kind of looks like a person.
You just run around going, where's the vampire?
Yeah.
No, gosh, my camera just cut for a second. No, I have fully stolen my husband's PS5 for months. They haven't been able to use it. It's been mine.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
where Gail lives. I need it.
Yeah. I talked to Madeline, the
Goose Girl.
The Goose Girl.
Yes.
And I was like, sell me on this. And I don't remember what words that were used to describe it, but I was like, I mean, I'm sure it's great. I know, I understand it's great.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to love it. I physically cannot play it.
I know. It's a really graphics intense game, and it's also expensive. And it's very worth it for how many hours you sink into it, but It's a lot of money for the game, much less for the system you need to play the game, you know?
Yeah. My biggest exposure was I watched part of the NADPOD stream where they played for an hour.
Okay.
And Murph blew through character creation because he was like, no one cares about this. And then the chat was so mad at him. It was really incredible. And I was like, man, Murph just fully doesn't know what Monster Factory is. What a weird life to live in. That you just missed that whole thing.
Nobody
people
wants
will
to
watch
you
you just create a character for an hour and a half.
Yeah, they will.
Have you finished a playthrough? Are you one of the people that has never finished a playthrough?
I finished my 4th playthrough last night.
Okay. Oh, great. Because I've seen some. I feel like somebody I follow is like, I haven't beaten the game yet.
Lots
and they're
of
like,
people.
I'm 700 hours in.
There's a lot of people who will just finish Act 1 or Acts 1 and 2 and then restart with a new character. Finish the game. Act 3 is the best part. Finish the game.
There you go. You heard it here. Finish a game.
It's the best part. People complain about Act 3. They're like, there's too much. I don't like it. It's too busy. It's the best part of the game. I don't want to do Act 1 anymore. I've done it enough times. I want to hang out in Baldur's Gate. Dang it. I'm sick of the forest. When you get into the city, they let you book a room at a hotel, and then all of your companions get to sleep in a bed in the same room. And it's the most rewarding thing.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Act 3 is great. Please finish the game. If you haven't finished the game, please finish the game.
Someday I'm going to start and finish the game.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. I've been trying to trick people into buying me a PS5 by putting it on an Amazon wish list. That also has not worked so far.
They'll just, be going through and they're like, oh, that and that and that, and they don't look.
Yeah. The thing I have been most successful in tricking people is I made a very popular video where I yelled about the pronunciation of Reese's Pieces. And very specifically how don't say it Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
And all the money that I got from that went to St. Baldrick's Foundation to cure childhood cancer. It was a very productive month. But then I put a bunch of Reese's Pieces on my Amazon wish list, and holy shit, I still have 50 bags of them.
I love this for you.
And because people would send it and then send a note where they would write it phonetically because I do an unboxing. They're terrible. On camera. And I was like, do you think you're punishing me by making me say Reese's Pieces? I have the candy now.
Yeah,
I've
I get
won.
to eat it.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But yeah. Internet scams are good. I don't know why people don't like them. I think they're great.
When you're running them, they rule.
Yeah,
actually.
when you're running them, it's fantastic.
I've only ever used Amazon wishlist to get people to buy me school supplies so that I can have functional classrooms.
Yeah, that's a fun thing about America.
I made the internet buy me pencils and crayons so my first graders could have pencils and crayons.
Cool stuff.
I
Through
love
Amazon of all places.
Yeah. Whatever works.
Yeah. Yeah. This poster frame, am I going to ever spin to the right side? Yes, that one of Sundry Sydney and the one above it. People bought me off Amazon. And I'm just I don't get it. And the thing is, I know we started this call with me taking an antidepressant, but we weren't recording yet. Prior, I had gone off of them for a while, not because I didn't need them, not anyway.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. And so I would cry real easy. And people would send very nice notes about creating a safe space for queer people to engage in the content that they love. And I'm like, I didn't know I did that. And now, now I'm all doped up and you send me whatever you want. Not a drop coming out.
Dry-eyed over here.
Yeah.
Stoic.
Yeah. Yes. You can send me anything about reading The Hobbit to my son, another thing someone did to me. And they're like, I loved reading this with my father. I hope you read it to yours. And I'm just sobbing. Yeah. Internet scams. Good when you're running them.
Yeah. Everybody should do it.
Yeah. Late stage capitalism. It's a great place to be.
When you're on top, baby.
That's right. Yeah. That's why I just keep doing these interviews, because I'm like, they're going to get wise eventually. And Vic Michaelis is going to stop talking to me. So I'm going to talk to him as many times as I can beforehand.
Yeah. Like, slam it out real quick, real fast, ready as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, it's to be normal. That would rule.
Oh man, I'm excited that we did cover Once Upon a Time game ? On my list of questions to ask you. My notes are so terrible for these interviews because it's often just like incoherent, just like full page. Get to like a really like like the Abria and the Vic ones, just like notes like stacked on notes of just like, oh, I'll underline this so I'll understand it's not part of the sentence it's literally next to.
Put it in a box. Yeah. Shade it a little
like,
different.
Oh yeah, we want to make sure we get to Bria saying, "Stop finger blasting my bear." Gotta make sure we get to that question. The thing I didn't ask her about, wildly enough.
Hard to naturally segue into finger blasting bears.
Yeah.
You know?
With her, it wouldn't have been. We started off with a very confrontational interview.
You guys are nemesis, yes?
Yeah, yes. We have a full blood feud.
It's important to have at least one.
Yeah. And like, I really got a top tier one. Periodically, people will be like, "Hey, another blood feud." I'm like, I've got a Bria Iyengar as like my mortal enemy. You think I'm gonna like fuck around with some nobody? Like, come on. Like, I've already got like an S class. Yeah, like I also had someone one time that was like, "Does Abria know about this blood feud, or would she be surprised about a battle to the death?" I'm like, it was her idea. She proposed the battle to the death on the beaches of Malta. Like, fully her idea. I don't know if you also have that feeling, or if you have moved past with like UC. Are you past like I'm a fraud, and some point very soon it's all going to come crashing down, or are you like still fully in that mindset?
Okay, so
or did like Zach and Brennan like coming on be like, "Oh, we're okay"?
That made it worse.
Oh, okay.
First, like, big special guest we had on was Travis McElroy.
Yep. Which, by the way, do you think he stole the idea of short series, unrelated, like that you could hop in at any point, took it back to his brothers and been like, "Hey, what if we stopped doing massive epics and we started doing Taz versus Dracula"?
I think he realized that's just sort of where the medium has been going, but it is funnier to say he stole it from us. Yeah. Okay.
So, Travis stole it. Continue.
I'm a McElroy girly. The Adventure Zone was like my first AP podcast I was really into. So just we were mutuals on TikTok. He followed me back. We were friends. And so then I got to just really casually be like, "Hi, do you want to be on a one shot?" And he said, "Yes." And like that, having that did make me feel more like a fraud, weirdly, because then I was doing what I'd been doing in front of somebody who knew how to do it better than me and who had every right in the world to be like, "Oh, that's not it. I'm here in the space with you, and you're not doing it right." Like, he didn't say that. Thank God. I might have quit. But just knowing that I was in that space where that could have happened, terrifying. Made me feel bad on the inside. Kind of the same with Zach, but I wasn't DMing for Zach, so that actually did help a little bit. I just got to be a little wizard.
Yeah, with higher charisma than intelligence, a bold choice. And
why not?
Yeah, I love it. Like, I love a character who's bad at their thing.
Yeah, it's good every time.
It's like, so Brennan said this on Worlds Beyond Number, and I fully like love it, is if it's like a one shot, he's like, if you tell me that this person isn't going to exist in 4 hours, and I'm going to do my Mr. Lee Mulligan impression, it's going to get weird. And I was like, yeah, make it weird. Love it.
Yeah, you have to.
Wait, Zach came on. I'm sorry. Fully interrupted your train of thought.
So good. I work with children. I have to hop back and forth.
Yeah.
No, so like I think that made me feel a lot more like a fraud for a really long time. Because then also people who wanted to check out UC for the first time would potentially gravitate to the one shots with the names that they knew, and they would just see those, and then they would see the person they loved doing a great job, and then also I'm there. That's not what they're there for. But weirdly, I think taking a 6-month hiatus made me feel like so much less of a fraud. Like, we took it spontaneously. It was not planned. There was a lot going on. But I then restarted it by myself. You know? And it's still a thing. And it's around. And, like, people are still listening to it. We're putting out a trailer for a new arc next week. It makes me feel a lot less like a fraud in the space, because I think there was always the part of my brain that was like, it's just the momentum. It's just the habit. People listen to it because they've been listening to it because they found me on TikTok, you know? And I think that because there was that break and now we're getting back into it and it still exists, now it feels like I've earned it. And I know that technically I've earned it the whole time. And I know that. But
no, I get that, because like I release these interviews every Friday on my Patreon, and the terror when I don't have one, like locked and loaded, and I'm like, okay, what can I do? And that's what I'm like, what if I started interviewing super fans? And I was like, okay. And I was like, probably not what the audience is going to want. They want Abria, they want Carlos, they want the names that I've hit already. And like junior year's still weeks away. Like I'm in this weird spot. Anyway, I get that. Yeah. It also makes me feel good that maybe my audience won't disappear on one Friday of missed content.
No, because the internet moves so fast, right? It moves so fast, and you have to always be guessing what people want. And if you fuck it up and you get it wrong, it's gone. It's terrifying. It's so scary to make stuff on the internet, and like TikTok especially, because it's so casual and it's so fast
and makes no sense at all.
And like, I feel like me and TikTok understand each other, and I guess that's good. But at the same time, it's so casual. It's so fast. The people who use it don't care about the things that they're seeing.
Yeah. Oh, no, I look at my analytics. I see how many people are there 5 seconds into a video. It's half at best.
100%.
And I'm like...
It's the same on YouTube, actually.
Yeah. I'm like, you saw 3 seconds of my face and you're like, absolutely not. Like,
thank you.
Yeah.
But you do the same thing when you scroll through the app. You're like, not that, not that.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes. Yeah, so if you fuck it up, it's all gone. It goes away. And it can happen not even because you did something wrong, but just because you didn't do the exact right thing. And that's why I will never do content creation full time. Absolutely not. I cannot imagine.
Fair. Yeah.
No, I will always be doing some other job. Retail. I love retail. Teaching, if it doesn't kill me.
Yeah.
I can't live my life on an algorithm. I'll explode.
That gives me a little pause about my plans for the future, but no, I'm
a lot
kidding.
of people do it great.
Yeah.
I could. This is what's worse. I could do it full time.
Yeah.
With what I already do and the numbers and platforms I already have, if I devoted myself full time to what I do, I could do it sustainably for a little while and make enough money to be alive, which is an incredibly privileged place to be. And I'm not going to take advantage of it because I know it'll kill me. And I can't live like that. And that's why nobody's getting a Once Upon a Time video this month.
That's why.
You have to
can I tell you my very fun little McElroy interaction? It's not in any way the same as yours, but Justin was posting his whatever videos. This was a year ago, probably, and he'd started just like exploring the space more on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember the old Juice videos where he would start and it would be the longest millennial pause you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah, and then he'd just start saying some nonsense to Sydney.
Yep. But like such a pregnant pause to start, and he like made one where he was talking like as the video started, and I was like, look at you avoiding the millennial pause, and he liked it and no one else did, and I was like, that's a win, baby.
He's learning, he's growing.
Yes, like he saw my comment a day after he posted this video. I don't know why the algorithm showed it to me so late, but yeah, you don't get in there so early on those videos.
Yeah,
just gone, your comment's gone. Also wild to me how many people comment the same thing on videos. Like, I'm so paranoid that anyone has had the same thought as me. Nobody that like reads. If I see 200 comments, I'm like, no chance someone hasn't made this joke already. I don't need
to say anything.
Yeah.
Nobody reads. That's the issue. Yeah. That's the other thing you learn on the internet.
Yes, no one reads. No one looks to see. Has anyone tagged Jordan yet in this video about Taskmaster? 30 people have? Okay. I probably don't. And he's replied. Okay, I probably don't need to tag him.
Just in case, though.
Yeah, just in case. Just in case he doesn't obsessively check his mentions. Yeah, I did have the other day, someone commented, they're like, I've seen your it was on a Dimension 20 video, and they're like, I've seen your comments on like 3 videos in 2 minutes. And I was like, yeah. I mean, of course I responded, I've been here the whole time, because you have to. But I was like, yeah, man, I'm here a lot. Like,
I talk a lot on the internet, leave me alone.
Yeah. If I comment on these, maybe someone will come follow me, and that's all that matters in this weird world I've built myself.
Got to establish the line of communication.
That's right. Yeah. Establishing brand, so important.
Blah.
Yeah,
it is, but blah.
Yes. Yeah, I will also say, like, as someone who is like, I don't know, in a weird spot, because like certainly not like as big an account as you, obviously.
You're the official dropout reporter. Don't put yourself down.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like I've hit this very weird spot where like people know who I am, and like I can get the attention of people at Dropout. Probably an annoying amount how much I can draw their attention. But like I'm getting Dimension 20 episodes early. Like it's a wild life.
Can I just say, by the way, that is, you have a level of dedication to the bit of the unofficial Dropout reporter that is unfathomable to me, and I love a bit, but you stuck with it to the point that the bit became real. And
yeah, it's wild.
I don't know how you did that. I don't know.
I don't either. It was one of those like. It was one of those. I think I made a video about this recently, like because I did like a breakdown. Like I went through and counted how many videos I posted about Dropout in 2023, and it was like 340. Like it was just shy of like one a day. And I posted 2 in January, so like I really ratcheted it up. Yeah. Like I think it was 6 in February, 2. Like so it was 8 for the first 2 months of the year, and then like. It got, like I said, I'm making 25 clips. I got to post them constantly.
Yeah, I get you.
But like I had made a video, I think it was in March, where I talked about the game, like Sam, like having a card up is like what was coming next on Game Changer when we didn't know it was going to be the Survivor parody. And it got like 160,000 views or something. And I had like 3,000 followers at that point. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll lean into this as hard as possible.
And that's how it goes. That's just how it goes.
Sam commented warm on that video, and I was like, we're in. I wasn't, by the way. I was so far off because it was like there was a 13 up his sleeve, and my guess is we were getting another episode on like whatever March 13th. It was going to be a bonus episode because that was a Monday, and it was actually we were getting 4 more episodes, which made the total for the season 13. I'm like, I don't know if I was warm, Sam.
Extra things.
Yeah. I guess warm is fair.
Could have been much colder.
Yes. But yeah, it's It's wild. I'm incredibly grateful because it's so much fun.
Are you a little afraid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna come crashing down any moment.
Yeah.
Like,
you and me, we're in the same place of like everything's gonna break, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I talk a big game about like if I ever interview Brennan, oh boy, like, and it's not that I don't think I can. I probably could pull that off, but
Easy.
I mean, at any moment, someone I don't remember is going to come from my past and be like, "Actually, Jordan's a bad person," and I'm gonna have to be like, "No, they're right. I tricked all of you.
My bad. I'm leaving."
Yeah. Delete account and go back to my day job. Like.
God, I know.
Yeah,
I'm already planning for. So Unprepared Casters does the charity streams. We're already planning for this year's because it's in 6 months, so we need to to get started because they're events. So we're just putting together even the list of people we want to invite. It's such a scary fucking list. I hate looking at that list.
Oh, I bet.
Just people I need to talk to.
Yeah. Just heroes of mine that I have to like cold call to be like, "Hey, what's up? You want to do a 2-hour thing for charity? If you say no, I'll be devastated."
I'll cry, but only a little.
Yeah. It's one of those things. So like these interviews, like I said, instantly, like you said, like you talk to someone once and you're suddenly their friend. So like that has happened with me and like Rashawn and Abria and Vic. And then every time I'm like, did they just say it to be nice? I'm like, are we actually friends? The next time I reach out, is it just going to be silence? I don't know what's going to happen.
It's a real fear.
Yeah.
It's a very real fear.
I made a video about like, so in the Vic interview, someone commented that like, it's like watching two people discover their best friends, which is very lovely. And so like I made a like TikTok, right? I was plugging the video and I said that, and someone commented, "I bet Vic makes everyone feel that way." And I was like, "Excuse me, this was uncalled for."
Like,
let me live in my little fantasy world.
Kind of. It's sweet to say about Vic. It's rude to say on that video.
Yes, yeah. Vic makes everyone feel special on 90% of the videos on the internet. Very fine to say. On the one video where I'm like, Vic and I are friends now.
Actually, you're not special, so.
Yeah. I was actually at some point need to pick your brain about charity stuff.
Yeah.
Because doing this like giant charity fundraiser with Run DMG has been very fun, and like I had already been like, I want to do something in May for like my birthday month, because I thought it was Ryan's birthday this month, and it turns out he's just taking advantage of like people's New Year's guilt of like, I need to do better for the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's very smart. I thought you said it was your birthday. And you're like, for my birthday, I'm raising money for Doctors Without Borders. And so I was like, but like, I have also had that thought of like, if I did a charity stream, who from this list of people that I have now have their email addresses could I ask, and would they say yes?
Email address is the most stressful thing in the world.
Oh my God. And when they have their phone number in their signature, and I'm like,
don't give me that.
Like, I'm sorry, Rick Perry. Do you want me to text you next time? Like, what's happening?
No, I would love to help. Charity streams are. I said this all the time. I know Gus said it all the time too, where we were like, Unprepared Casters is worth it just for the amount we've raised in our charity streams.
Yes.
In our 2 charity streams we've done, we've raised over $70,000 for
incredible. Yeah.
Like, I'll do this podcast forever just to have an excuse to keep doing these yearly charity streams. I'll do it. I love those things. I'm so proud of them. Would love to help you with charity stuff.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's like I do the Reese's Pieces video was like very silly, but I was doing it because I was like, people are gonna watch this video, and then I gave $450 to a cancer foundation off of one stupid video. Because of course it worked. I've stood up and I yelled at a camera. Of course it works.
All it takes.
It's such a bummer because I'm like, I'm not going to transition to that channel.
But you
Boy, could I make a lot of money if I did.
Oh, but you could. You just have to be
Yeah.
willing to put up with the comments.
Yeah.
And most days,
Like, I
I'm
did
just not.
Yeah. No, it would be terrible. I did one about that Roman Empire thing. Like, and that one was legitimate because I was real mad because people were real rude to me in my comments because I made a video. I was like, I don't think about it. That's weird that you do. And people, I mean, it was basically like okay, cuck kind of comments like came floating in, and I'm like, all right, now I'm mad. And so like I was like screaming about white supremacy into a camera, and then like that thing went crazy, and I was like, oh, this is the algorithm.
This is what people want.
It's rage. People want rage.
Yeah, but then they're gonna yell at you about it. It's
Yeah.
a cycle. That sucks. That's no fun.
Yeah. It's no fun. Oh my gosh, this was incredible. I asked you, I think, 3 questions. I don't know what we talked about.
We were
I
just
blacked out for
chatting
all of
about
this.
the nature of content creation, which is usually what happens when I get on a call.
I'm so sorry.
I love to do it.
Okay.
Who else am I supposed to talk to this about, Jordan? My kindergartners?
Yes, they'll probably understand it.
They
In
won't.
like 5 years, they'll be content creators.
No. No, they're going to be productive members of 5th grade.
Yes. No, I meant 5 years. Your next, like in 5 years, your kindergarten batch will just fully be content creators.
No. Darn it.
I have so my 2-year-old son loves to make videos. He says it with a B, cutest thing in the world. Because he knows that I do it. So like I have my little like tripod that I have. And so he'll come in and be like, "Can I make a video with you, Daddy?" And I'm like, "Of course." And he'll like turn the ring light on, and then like we hit record, and he just like kind of like talks to the camera. I have so many drafts that are just 10-minute long videos of him just talking to the camera. It's incredible.
It's like Justin McElroy and his daughter. They did the Charlie and Daddy podcast.
Yes, oh, it's so good.
Such a delight.
Good stuff. Yeah. I'll also say, Taz was my first like actual play.
Yeah.
It's sort of what led me to D20. Like I went Taz, saw the first episode of Tiny Heist, was obsessed, but also not looking for a new streaming service. So I was like, well, that's gone forever. But then someone had posted like a triangle where it was like Taz, Dungeons and Daddies, and NADPOD were the 3 things. And the Taz to NADPOD corner was feral and horny. And I was like, I think I'm going to check out this NADPOD podcast. And then fell in love with Emily and Murph and was like, oh, I'm going to watch. And then I was like, oh, Dimension 20, the thing that has the McElroys. I'm going to start from the beginning. Yeah. And I loaded up the YouTube episode and they bleeped out the swears. And I was like, I can't handle this. And immediately gave Dropout $5 and never looked back. It's a very smart business model to be like, hey, these people who are swearing nonstop, if you want to hear it not bleeped, you got to give us $5.
Oh, can I say one more McElroy thing before you kick me off of your show?
Look, if I would talk to you forever, I do have another interview in 20 minutes because my life is a nightmare. Yeah.
No, just because you were like, I'm going to get the Dropout because that's where the McElroys are. Travis McElroy once DM'd me on TikTok. Makes my blood go cold every time because every time like he's yelling at me. I don't know why I think that. But he once DM'd me. He's like, I just had to let you know that I was at a convention and somebody approached me because they recognized me from your show.
What?
You can't tell me that, Travis. Thank you so much. I got to be the way that somebody learned who the McElroys were.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just like mind. Retire, put the jersey in the rafters. Like you did it.
Yeah, I'm done, I think.
Yeah.
I can go home.
Someone was like, oh, what's this Taz balance all about? That Travis is also in. I wonder if it's any good and will emotionally devastate me. And like every 6 months I'll think about it and be like, oh, Luke, no.
I'm going to feel really normal about that campaign of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. What a delightful thing.
Yeah.
Haley, this has been amazing. Everyone already knows where to follow you, I'm sure. It would be...
Jack.
Yeah. it would be incredible if someone was like, who is this person he's talking to?
Our intersection is simply a circle.
Yes, absolutely. Except yours is much, much larger than mine, and then I'm down in the middle of it.
I'm a circle like this, and then you're up there in my circle.
Yes.
Like Lesotho in South Africa.
Exactly like that. Well, on that perfect note, I'm going to do the thing that I have done in every interview so far today, which is I don't know how to end these. I'm going to hit stop recording.